storming across America, racing when and where he could, he paid his dues, and in 1979 made it into the big league. Now, he's realized his dream of team ownership. One dream remains, winning the Winston Cup. And tonight, you get to meet Geoff Bodine, the owner-driver of the Excise Battery Ford Thunderbird, as Nutmeg Mills presents This Week in NASCAR. And now, from the studios of KTVU-TV in Oakland, California, here's the host of This Week in NASCAR, Eli Gold.
It is just a magnificent day here in the San Francisco-Oakland Bay area. The NASCAR Winston Cup teams heading west for Sunday's Phase Mart 300. As you look across to some of the islands that dot the side, there you see Alcatraz in the foreground, one of the great tourist attractions of the area. And of course, we continue our look towards San Francisco, the Transamerica Tower, and in the back distance there, the Golden Gate Bridge. It's a beautiful day. Glad you're with us here on This Week in NASCAR tonight, live from KTVU Television here in Oakland, California. This is the Fox affiliated station here in town. We appreciate them opening their studios to us as they have now for the 5th time in 6 years here on This Week in NASCAR. First, Geoff Bodine is our special guest this evening. He'll be taking your calls and comments at our toll-free line, 1-800-292-5551. The phones are open right now. If you'd like to hop on board and get in line to throw a question in the direction of our special guest, Geoff Bodine. Let's bring you up to speed on the news of this week, and what with this being a busy travel week, not all that much has taken place. Although Ricky Rudd, in the aftermath of that $50,000 fine he was hit with last weekend, has found time to appeal that fine to the National Stock Car Racing Commission. It's not been heard yet. It'll be a week or two, I'm sure, before they all sit down and have a hearing. But Ricky has appealed the fine, which is levied in Talladega after an illegal hydraulic device was found in the back of his Tide Ford. Also this week, more tire testing for the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company. Derek Pope was at Dover Downs International Speedway. They were to have been there Tuesday, but they were rained out, so they did some tire testing there yesterday before Derek headed out here to the West Coast. And Dick Trickle decided to stop by the Bob Bondurant Driving School out in Arizona on his way out here to the West Coast. Dick said to me on Tuesday, I said, have you learned anything? He said, I learned it was a good thing that I stopped. He said, I had a lot of learning to do. So Dick Trickle trying to bone up on the road course, getting set for Sunday's race out here in California. But there you have it. Not all that much news of this week as everybody's set now to go racing. First road course event of 1995. Now let's meet our special guest of this evening, the driver-owner of the Excide team, Geoff Bodine.
Upper Deck Motorsports is pleased to introduce Geoff Bodine, a native of Chemung, New York, and the oldest of 3 racing brothers. In 1994, Geoff led the circuit in capturing 5 poles, and 2 of his 3 victories came after starting from the pole. Look for Geoff and all of your favorite racing stars on Upper Deck's new line of 1995 Motorsports trading cars.
Geoff Bodine, great to have you with us here today. Good to see you, and I know it's been a busy day already traveling west. Great to have you aboard.
It's a long flight out here, but we're glad we made it. A great audience tonight, and always glad to be on the show.
Thank you. And of course, you on road courses, you know, folks don't automatically think of Geoff Bodine as a road racer, and they should. Heck, you've won here, you've had a second here, you've won a pole at Watkins Glen, you finished second at the Glen. When you're as good statistically as the Rudds and everybody else, they automatically think of as road racing.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, Eli. I love road racing, and yeah, the last couple races here have been good for me. And Watkins Glen is not too far away, so we built a new car for this race. Going to tune it up here, hopefully drive it to Victory Lane, then take it to the Glen and win again.
I guess the key is those days when you drag race down the streets of Waverly, New York. Now, that taught you how to work the road courses or something. Geoff, of course, has an associate sponsor on his car again this week. The new salsa, Tanya Tucker's salsa, that many of you have seen in supermarkets across America. You've got the T-shirt on here, and that, of course, has been a great association. Tanya's out here this weekend, going to be giving a big concert for everybody at Pierce Point.
That's right, Saturday after practice. Really excited about all that. So she's going to drive our super truck around the track Sunday morning to show the folks what a super truck is all about. You know, this salsa is made right here close to Modesto, California. So You just picked up a couple cases. You got them out there in the car for you, Eli.
Well, I do appreciate it. As a matter of fact, everybody who's here in the audience has gotten a can of the salt, and everybody who calls in this evening and gets on the air will be receiving in the mail a can of this salt. Also a battery from the folks at Exide Batteries. Both have been kind enough to contribute to the fans' goodie bag this evening, so we thank both Tanya and the folks at Exide for all that they've done. Let's go now to the phone line. Steve has been waiting in Houston, Texas, with our first call of the night. Hey, Steve.
Howdy, Eli. Howdy, Jeff.
Howdy.
A couple of weeks ago, you mentioned the two tracks that Bruton Smith and Billy Meyer were trying to build up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, but I was wondering whatever happened to the Texas World Speedway outside College Station. I know it's a popular test track and that there was talk that Richard Childress was trying to buy it. Have you heard any news about it?
Okay, there was to have been a public auction at that racetrack outside of College Station in Bryan, Texas. But on the day of the auction, the track was pulled off the auction block, although Richard Childress was there to bid along with a number of other groups. Right now, the track basically sits, other than being used as a test site. There has been a Winston West and an ARCA event there over the last few years. There are a couple of USAC uses for it, the United States Auto Club, but basically that 2-mile track outside of College Station is sitting, and for the moment, everybody's waiting to see exactly what's in the offing. So maybe we'll be back there. It's been, I guess, since the early 80s. Since last we ran at that racetrack, about an hour and a half, I should say, from Houston, Texas. We're going to come right back and take your calls for Geoff Bodine. Again, the phone lines are open toll-free, 1-800-292-5551. Tonight, live from Oakland, California. We're coming right back.
This Week in NASCAR is brought to you by Napa. We keep America running. By Slim Jim. When you need a little excitement, snap into a beefy, spicy Slim Jim. And watch for the Slim Jim Racing Team. By Nutmeg Racing. Nutmeg's new NASCAR collection of caps and t-shirts are for race fans who want to stand out from the crowd. By Chevrolet. One car company has won more races in the history of NASCAR. Genuine Chevrolet. And by Son of a Gun from STP. Son of a Gun instantly restores the luster to your car's leather, vinyl, and rubber. So give it the gun. Son of a Gun from STP.
Every day.
America's most complete source of auto parts, a national warranty program, and customer service only Napa can give. No wonder more people trust Napa to keep their vehicles running.
We keep America running. We keep America running.
Hi, I'm David Green. I'm proud to have won the 1994 Brute Series Championship in the Slim Jim 44. And Slim Jim's proud to bring you This Week in NASCAR.
For your nutmeg, boys. Gentlemen, you want to make it in NASCAR? Hold on to your nutmeg.
From a commitment to perfection. It is Titan from Quickset. Titan door locks, unbeatable strength, unbeatable security.
Hi, I'm David Green. I'm proud to have won the 1994 Brute Series Championship in the Slim Jim 44. And Slim Jim's proud to bring you This Week in NASCAR.
We all remember the scene at Sears Point a couple of years ago. That's Geoff right there, halfway out of shape, and he saves the car with Ricky Rudd and Sterling Marlin right behind him, hounding for the win. This is the last lap of the Save Mart 300 a couple of years ago. You know, we were laughing before, Geoff, and I said, yeah, some drag racing on the streets of Waverly, New York. But in all seriousness, you become a darn good road racer, as we're seeing here. Why is that? What's in your background?
I don't know, Eli. It's just a lot of fun, and I enjoy doing fun things, and road racing is that, but you have to have good equipment, and I've been fortunate enough throughout the years to have good teams with good equipment that understood road racing and let me do my little things for the cars to make them a little bit better. And that day in the Motorcraft car, we had an awesome car. Pit stops were great. Everything worked good for us, and we drove that thing into victory lane, and hopefully we're going to do it again this year with the X-Side car.
The car worked awfully well through the S's all of that weekend, as we remember. And there Geoff heads towards the final turn at Sears Point, en route to another victory on the road course. Geoff Bodine, our special guest, driver, owner of the X-Side Batteries Ford Thunderbird. Let's get right back to the phone lines now and go to Upper Darby, Pennsylvania. Jack, how are you tonight?
All right, how you doing, Jeff?
Doing great, Jack.
First, I'd like to really thank Morgan for last Sunday's race. I mean, I hate to say I don't like seeing the 3-car up that far all the time, but I mean, it made my day. I mean, it really tickled me to death. But now, what I really like to ask is, what do you think can be done? Now, I know the Fords have been doing pretty good the last couple races, but it still seems like, I don't know if it's the aerodynamics or what. It just seems like they don't have it like they had last year. And to me, it seems like it goes back to a few years back when Elliott was running away with it. They came out with the restrictor plates. It seemed to me back then they came out with the restrictor plates to slow the Thunderbirds down then.
Well, I think that the bottom line has to be that NASCAR, as we said in the past, they don't really care who wins as long as there's good competition out there on the racetrack. I don't really believe NASCAR cares if one make a car wins 10 in a row, as long as there's another one and the other one right alongside. But we have seen little changes here, Jeff, in the last few weeks. Do you expect any significant impact from those changes?
I don't think anything big is going to be seen by the race fans. It's a start, though, and that's great. I'm glad NASCAR did look at the situation. They decided to make some changes. They're going to ease into it. They're not going to give us everything we want all at once. I think eventually, though, you will see some differences in spoiler heights and amount of spoiler on the back of these cars from Ford to Chevy and Pontiac.
Joe is on the phone line watching in Charlotte, North Carolina tonight on Sports South. Hey, Joe.
Hey, guys, how y'all doing tonight?
Good, thank you.
Well, I have two questions. First one maybe Jeff can answer, and maybe you as well. We know that the Monte Carlo, Neil Bonnet tested them maybe 2 years ago. Is Ford that far ahead in their testing for a new car? And my second question, will we see Jeff in the Super Trucks more this year?
Okay, good question. We'll talk more about the Super Trucks as our evening continues, so why don't we kind of put that one question on the back burner for a moment. So let's talk about Ford's development now. When might we see a new reworked T-Bird? What are you hearing?
It's going to be a couple of years. Next year we have a new nose piece, new hood, and a new rear bumper. That's about it. The year after that, I believe we're going to have a whole new car, and I haven't seen it, so I don't know if any racer has yet. So I think they're working on that right now. As far as Super Trucks, going to be driving one Friday night. Seen in your TV up in Portland. Enjoy that series a lot. I think also I can run about 10 of those races this season. And Dave Rezendes runs the other races I can't drive, and maybe, just maybe, you're going to see another Bodine behind the steering wheel. My youngest son, Barry, might drive a few races at the end of the year.
I heard he was behind the wheel testing at Martinsville not long ago.
He was, both in the truck and the car. You know what? The little bugger's only a little bit slower than I am right now, so there's a lot of talent. Eli, I got a little special thing I need to cut in here right now.
Oh, brother.
What is today? Today's some special day. What is your 29th birthday or is it 30th?
Neither one, thank you. No, that's a running gag. This is not my birthday. I celebrate one a year, but on this show I seem to celebrate one every Thursday night for whatever reason it is, because there's a sixth producer working his last show with us tonight, I might add.
Well, what was that cake out in the back room that was half gone?
That was not my responsibility. I know nothing about it. Ed is in Allen, Texas. Hi, Ed. Good evening.
Hi, Eli. How you doing?
Good, thank you.
Hey, Jeff.
Hi, Ed.
Being a native in New York, I used to watch your race up there in short tracks as a kid. I was wondering if you ever get back up there that often. And also, maybe hate to bring it up, but how are you and Brett getting along nowadays?
Well, we get back to Watkins Glen. That's about it. Pocono is close by. Loudon, that's where we used to run in New England. So we don't have a lot of time to get back and just socialize with the rest of the family that's back in that area. As far as Brett and I, we're still family. Always will be family. You know, there's two brothers out there racing with me, and we won't forget that. And things are okay.
Good to hear. Geoff Bodine is with us. We're going to come right back, but first we need to take a look at the top 10 in NASCAR Winston Cup Series points. And more of This Week in NASCAR right after this. Stay with us.
Calling all sports fans. Now reach out and touch someone using the official phone of your favorite pro team. Introducing Team Phone. You can't use that long-distance company slogan. You're going to be sued. Oh, well. Team Phones are officially licensed by the NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball, and the NHL. There's a Team Phone for all 109 pro teams. And they don't just look good. Team Phones are loaded with great features like big buttons, a lighted keypad, auto redial, wall or desk mount, and a full 3-year warranty. Team Phones are great for your office, your home, anywhere you want to show your true colors. And what a perfect gift for any sports fan. So call now and order a Team Phone for your favorite team from any pro sport, baseball, football, basketball, or hockey. Get the Team Phone with your favorite pro team. Call 1-800-352-2121 or send check or money order for $59.95 plus $7.90 shipping and handling to the address on your screen. Choose from any pro sport, football, basketball, hockey, or baseball. Call 1-800-352-2121. Sorry, no COD. Hear all of baseball's news straight from the source. Old-timers, all-stars, and celebrities all get a say when Ed's the host and you're talking baseball. Ed Randall, Talking Baseball. Hear all the chatter all season on this regional sports network.
As we mentioned, a beautiful day here in Oakland, a 5:15 Pacific time, rush hour in downtown as folks begin the commute home. Glad you're able to join us, though, as we're spending this evening at KTVU here in Oakland. Oh, there's a good sight, Geoff Bodine, the Levi Garrett car, February 1986. You're going to win the Daytona 500. That was a heck of a day for you. I remember it well.
I do too. I won't forget it ever. Quite a dramatic race between Dale Earnhardt and myself. We ended up running out of gas with a few laps to go. We had enough gas and drove the Levi Garrett number 5 Monte Carlo into victory lane.
Was Gary Nelson your crew chief then?
That's Gary running in there beside the car somewhere. Yes, sir. Now he's the guy in charge of all these cars at the racetrack working for NASCAR. So he knows all the tricks that we try to pull every week, and he's doing a great job at NASCAR, and he's a really good friend.
NASCAR's #1 super cop, as Gary Nelson has been called by many. There is Geoff Bodine climbing from the Levi Garrett car that day, and still brings a big smile to his face, you can see. Welcome back in, everybody, and let's go right back to our questions. As you know, our phone lines are open to you all week long. If you don't want to wait until Thursday and take your chances on getting on the air, our voicemail box is available at the same phone number all week. And we had a call come in earlier this week from Dave. Let's listen.
Hi, Jeff. My name is Dave from Chicago, and you seem to do real good on Hoosier tires last year, and I was wondering if you had any regrets that they're not available at NASCAR this year.
We really do, because my team, my people, my friends, we put a lot of work in with Bob Newton to develop that tire, and thought this was the year it was all going to pay off. We won some races last year, but this was going to be the payoff year. He isn't here, the tires aren't here, so all that hard work kind of was down the drain, and yeah, a lot of regrets, but we're happy to be with Goodyear. Now, every week, we're on the same tires as everyone else, have the same chance at winning a pole as everyone, so that's a good feeling, and things have been going pretty good here lately. We had to learn these tires over a little bit. They are different, but we're finally, I think, getting on track.
I guess the obvious question is, with corporate loyalties being what they are in this business, have you noticed any resentment, or have the Goodyear fellows been on the up and up from the get-go?
On the up and up, yeah, no problems. Leo Mel, Phil Homer and I talked last week, Rich, their engineers, all the tire changes, the tire busters, we call them. We're all friends, and they knew what I did with Hoosier was a business move, not anything personal. And so they're treating us really good. And you know what? Our money's spent just because anyway. We're paying for all those tires now, though, Eli.
I hear you. Let's go to upstate New York. Shirley is on the line. Hi, Shirley. Good evening.
Hi, Jeff. We're fans of yours from upstate New York. We were wondering how old your son is and how many races he plans on running in the Super Truck Series.
Well, I have two sons. Matthew works in our race shop, our car shop. He's 23, married, 2 dogs. They're not grandkids yet, Matthew and Paige. Barry's still in high school. He's 17 and a half. And I really don't know how many races he's going to run, if any this year. That's the plan. If he looks really good testing, I'd like to see maybe at Martinsville, Wilkesboro, Richmond, maybe even Bristol, but maybe none of them. We just haven't decided.
Did you know all along that he wanted to be a racer, or this kind of surprises?
Well, now both boys want to be racers. Barry ran go-karts. Matthew, I'm trying to keep him in the fab shop, learning the business on that end, so he can take over when I retire, and maybe Barry will be the driver when I retire. But you never know about kids, do you?
No, you never do know. Let's go to the gateway to the west, St. Louis, Missouri. Joe, good evening to you, sir.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Yes, I was wondering, give me some information about Geoff Bodine's fan club, how you joined it or whatever. I have a little girl who's 6 years old that's very interested in it.
Well, how do folks hop on board?
Well, the fan club moved from Connecticut to North Carolina, and I don't know the address right now, but if you write to Geoff Bodine Racing, Harrisburg, North Carolina, what is it? 6007 Victory Lane, I guess. I don't even know.
You never write to yourself?
No, I don't. But you write to our race shop, and we'll give you that address.
I'll tell you what we will do, though, is fortunately your business manager is in attendance this evening, and we'll get all of that information from Bill Doucette and pass it along to you folks here in a short while to do grab a pencil and paper. Quick reminder about our next couple of shows here. We're going to head right back across country next weekend to follow the NASCAR Busch Series north to Concord, New Hampshire. They run the Chevy Dealer 250 up in New Hampshire next weekend. We'll be at the Holiday Inn in Concord next Thursday night. Bobby Labonte and David Green, the Slim Jim Racing team, will be joining us. That's next Thursday right here on This Week in NASCAR. And in 2 weeks from now, we all head to Charlotte for the Winston Select NASCAR's All-Star Race. WTVI-TV, that's the public broadcasting system affiliate, will be hosting us. That's in Charlotte 2 weeks from tonight. Love to see you come on by and join us in person in both locations. If not, tune in right here on Prime. We're back with more of your questions for Geoff, but right now let's check out positions 11 through 20 in Winston Cup points as we continue from Oakland right after this.
Leslie Nielsen's Bad Golf Made Easier.
Really, the reason the game is called golf is because all the other four-letter words have been taken.
It's the new home video that teaches you the fundamentals.
The only really useful tip in golf is the one you give to the star.
And how to play the problem live. Call now to order Leslie Nielsen's Bad Golf Made Easier. Hold out to order Leslie Nielsen's Bad Golf Made Easier. Only $19.98. Call 1-800-522-5333.
Dover Downs International Speedway a couple of years ago. You might be wondering why the significance of that race. Well, Geoff Bodine, you well know the Family Channel sponsorship that day on your car. That's the first day you raced a Winston Cup car that you yourself owned.
That's right. I don't believe it turned out very well for me, and I've won a race or two there at Dover, and of course we go back in a few weeks, a new surface, that concrete, that black won't be there, it's all white now.
You, I believe, and it may have changed since, but you used to hold the all-time absolute record at Dover, didn't you?
Got that with a modified car, yeah, quite a few years back. Picked up old modified. Dick Armstrong owned it. Jack Camp built the engines, and we went up there, set a record. It stood there for quite a while.
We've got a visitor here at the studios of KTVU who has a question for Geoff Bodine. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
How you doing, Dan? What's up?
Not much. How you doing, Jeff?
I'm doing great.
Congratulations on a great run in Talladega.
Thank you.
I was wondering if being a owner, driver of the super trucks in the new series, touching to your NASCAR Winston Cup series, and how do you find time to do all that?
Time is the problem. I've really spread myself pretty thin racing both divisions, but you know, I like the super trucks. It's fun, and that's why I'm doing it. Sponsors like it, race fans like it, and it's always fun to be part of something brand new. Yeah. And it really doesn't cut into the Winston Cup program at all. We have this separate crew that operate that truck, that maintain it, transport it all over the country. I just have to fly around and jump in the right seat and make sure it's either the side of the truck and has a number 7 on it.
With so many races for that Super Truck Series by Craftsman out here on the West Coast, have they gotten the West Coast shop for the time being as a temporary home?
I have a lot of friends, Eli, and that's what they've been doing out here, staying at some friends' place, Gary Saunders and Gretchen Dabney, parents down near L.A. Let them stay down there and use their shop for a while. So a lot of friends, and that's what it takes in this business, is friends that pitch in and help things work out.
Let's go to Orville, California now for our next question. Chuck, you're on with Geoff Bodine. Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Great.
Welcome to Northern California.
Thank you, sir.
Can you enlighten me on what kind of safety rules they're discussing or going to go get into, or something about the flagman who hangs out over the speedway and waves the flag? Does he have a safety harness on to stop him from toppling out of there?
That's a good point.
Question. There's no safety harness for Doyle Ford, I will tell you that. I did notice, though, that when they did some capital improvements at Talladega last weekend, the flagman stand was recessed a little bit more than it normally was, leaning out over the racetrack. But, you know, it's one of those seats that has to be basically where it is. It's in a precarious spot, but thank God we've not had major problems over the years. And, you know, but Doyle Ford is not attached to anything up there. He is not tethered to the flag stand. I guess if he had to get out of there in a hurry, he probably could scamper on down. But we appreciate your call. Now Lee in Plant City, Florida on the Sunshine Network. Hello.
How you doing, Eli?
Good, thank you.
My question is to you. We had some information on Ernie in the paper that he had some doctors to see this week in California. You have anything on that?
Well, we saw Ernie yesterday at a luncheon at Pier 39 in San Francisco, and that's where the story originated. He said that while he is out here in California, he is going to see some doctors who he knew during his growing up years and some specialists in the San Francisco and Los Angeles area. Ernie is chomping at the bit to get back behind the wheel of a race car competitively again. And I asked him, or somebody did, at the luncheon yesterday, what is your goal? He said, well, my goal was to be in the car here this week at Sears Point. He goes, that's not going to happen. So now my goal is to be in the car at the Winston in Charlotte. He said, if that doesn't happen, then my goal will be the next week at the Coke 600. So he really is just waiting to get back, but it is now strictly a medical determination. Otherwise, he's raring to go. I know he appreciates your input. We're going to come right back and take more of your calls with Geoff Bodine, but right now as we break away, here's a former Rookie of the Year who's going to take a look at the current Rookie of the Year point standing. Stick around. We're coming right back.
Nothing works better than your car's leather, vinyl, and rubber. It can turn just about anything into a great-looking car.
Nice car.
What, this car was junk?
Give it the gun with Son of a Gun. And now give your tires a quick kick with one-step tire care.
Now, Eureka bags so powerful they've earned the Corvette name. Corvette Hand Vac and Corvette Wet Dry. The next generation from Eureka.
Doing repairs on your car shouldn't make you feel like this. Haynes Auto Repair Manual. See Haynes, see how.
Shop Boss from Eureka. So versatile as a kitchen boss, garage boss, auto boss, lawn boss. With anti-tip design. Shop Boss. Only from Eureka.
These automotive professionals just witnessed an amazing demonstration.
Hey, what? Oh, my God.
We ran this 500 horsepower engine after draining all the oil. Before we drained the oil, we added just one bottle of a revolutionary new engine treatment, Duralose. By bonding to the metal inside your engine, Duralube protects like no other regular oil or additive can, giving you better mileage and longer engine life. Duralube, in a class by itself.
We've been talking so much about the NASCAR Super Truck Series by Craftsman. The fellows in the control room were able to pull out this tape, compliments of TNN, the National Network, and there you are, Geoff, in truck number 7, alongside Kenny Slater in 52. That was just a few weeks ago at the Saugus Speedway in Santa Clarita, California.
I thought I had Kenny there. Joe Ruttman ahead of us a lap down, and I got underneath Kenny on the restart, but as you see, you will see, I think he'll go around. The outside groove is a lot faster up there. They had the traction compound down, and the inside groove got oiled up. Kenny won the race for a second, but you know what? We're pretty happy with that second. It was a good short track race. Kind of reminded me of the old days.
Did it really?
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of nice to see. You talk about guys being true racers. There was a weekend off. Everybody wouldn't mind just kind of kicking back and taking a breath of fresh air and relax. And there you were, there Kenny Slater was, and so many of the fellas out on the West Coast. If there's a race to be run and a day to do it, these guys are going to be there. Let's go now to Alliance, Nebraska. Chris, good evening to you, sir.
Good evening, Eli. Jeff, my question for Jeff, I'd like to ask Jeff what advantage the hydraulics that Ricky Rudd had on his car last week would be for him.
Well, into the pocketbook a little bit. Made it tip a little lighter, but what it was intended to do was lower the car down, the back of the car down. And during qualifying, that's very important to get the car as low as possible. It'll go through the air easier, and you can go faster. But like Ricky told me afterwards, he said, you know, it was really stupid because the car already was dragging you down as low as we could get it, so that device really wasn't going to help him any.
Well, I'll tell you, after yesterday at that press conference that was here in San Francisco, somebody asked Ricky right there, he said, well, what do you think of this car ownership business? And Ricky said, well, after last week, he said, it sucks. He said, otherwise, it's not bad. He said, but that wasn't a good week to just coming off of. Another voicemail question came in for Geoff Bodine earlier this week from Chris in Bristol, Connecticut. Let's listen to that question.
Hi, my name is Chris, and I'm calling from Bristol, Connecticut. And my comments and questions for Jeff are that, Jeff, I grew up watching you win modified races at Stafford, Thompson, and Riverside Park. I've always felt that the competition level in modified racing at that time was tremendous, as much as Winston Cup is today. Yet you won hundreds of features, including a record 55 in 1978. I'd like to hear your comments on this part of your career, including who were your toughest competitors at that time, and your biggest wins in the modifieds at that portion of your career. Also, good luck, Jeff, and I hope to see you back in the winner's circle.
Question from Chris. Obviously, followed you very closely.
Sure did. Why can't I do that now? Win hundreds of races, right? The competition's very tough now, that's why. And the modified days were great. Bugsy Stevens, Ricky Evans, Maynard Troyer, Jerry Cook, who worked for NASCAR.
College is on deck.
Oh, yeah, and just the list goes Fast Worley. You know, Freddie DeSaro, the list goes on. Bobby Santos, Leo Clary. How many more do you want to hear? Those guys, you know, educated me. They taught me. That was my schooling, so I could come here and race in the Winter Cup, and they taught me pretty good.
Was there one biggest win of all of those? Any spring sizzlers that stand out, or anything that might be high on the list, and race champions or what have you?
Well, I won the Thompson 300 4 or 5 times. They finally gave me this huge trophy, said, just take it. But no, they were all big, really. It's the same nowadays. Every win is pretty darn big. It feels good when you can do it.
Let's go back to the Cornhusker State. Todd is in Grand Island, Nebraska. Hello. Sounds like Todd was hanging up just as we went to him. Folks, we will get to you as quickly as we can, so we just ask you to be patient and take a moment to just wait online. Vernon is next online with a question for Jeff. Vernon, good evening. Apparently, Vernon is spending time talking with Todd.
Hi, this is Vernon from Chattahoochee, Florida.
Oh, there we go.
And I was wondering if you went through any pre-race rituals for good luck. I know we do running local dirt tracks. And if you do, what are they? And if you use any good luck charms during the race. Thank you.
Thank you for calling in. Well, any good luck charm? Rusty Wallace carried Norman Schwarzkopf's rabbit's foot last week at Talladega that was sent in. You have any good luck to you?
Well, if you paid attention to what's happened this year, I haven't had really good luck. So last week I changed that a little bit. Yeah, I changed my little ritual. I eat some candy tucker salsa. Hey, I came from 41st to 7th. It almost worked. This week I'm going to use the hot. Last week I used the mild. So this week the hot. I sure win. Try it. You'll like it.
Geoff Bodine with another unsolicited testimonial. We're going to come right back in a moment, but remember, tomorrow it's shortly after 3 o'clock Pacific time. They run for the Bush Pole at Spears Point International Raceway. If you'd like information, here's the phone number you can call to get the results.
For Winston Cup information by phone in the U.S., call 1-900-73-RACING, cost 89 cents per minute. And in Canada, call 1-900-451-3009, cost 99 cents per minute. Average call is 3 minutes.
And for those of you back on the East Coast, the qualifying should wrap up East Coast time around 8 o'clock, maybe 8:30 tomorrow evening. We're coming right back, more with your calls, and Geoff Bodine spending time with us tonight. So stick around. Let's look at the manufacturer's points as we break away. We'll be right back.
I can't find this part anywhere, so I'm sure you guys don't have it.
I think we do. Hold on a second. Any auto parts dealer with the Key Parts sign is backed by over 200,000 custom parts and the right people to help you find what you're looking for. Mother's Polish introduces a new Back to Black exterior trim cleaner and protection, and the new plastic polish that cleans and restores a mirror-like shine to any plastic product. No matter where you are, when you need the right parts and accessories, look for the Key Parts sign or call 1-800-AUTO-PARTS.
I'll race you for your nutmeg, Troy. Gentlemen, you want to make it in NASCAR. Hold on to your nutmeg.
Son of a gun protection. Nothing works better than your car's leather, vinyl, and rubber. It can turn just about anything into a great-looking car.
Nice car.
What, this pile of junk?
Give it the gun with Son of a Gun. And now give your tires a quick kick with one-step tire care. America's most complete source of auto parts, a national warranty program, and customer service only Napa can give. No wonder more people trust Napa to keep their vehicles running.
Welcome back to Oakland, California, from a camera mounted on the roof of KTVU, the home of the Bay Area's #1 rated newscast. You see San Francisco in the far-off distance there on a very, very clear couple of days. Haven't seen any fog here at all the last couple of days. There's Geoff Bodine, last year looking over the Hoosier tires. This year, as we've already discussed, with Hoosier gone, he's one of the Goodyear contingent, as everybody is, but of course, there's been no problems. He's learning those changes and getting towards the front again with those Goodyears. No, last weekend, you didn't qualify well at all, obviously, at Talladega, and 3/4 of the way through the race, there you were in the top 7 or 8. You made no bones about it. You fellows went out and bought a race engine for the weekend from Peter Giles. I guess the Restrictor Plate, as good as anybody's in-house engine program is, the Restrictor Plate racing is just a different animal.
I hate it. I really do. But no, we ran good, and the team put in a lot of work to get the car to run like it did last weekend, and I'm proud of it. They all could have just sat down and gave up. I almost did myself. And you know, I'm partly to blame for why our program has been like it is. I haven't been paying attention to the business. The guys kind of wandered off track a little bit with the engine program and some other things in the shop. And I'm back down there now working pretty much full time, and we're going to get things back on track. And the next time you see the 7, which will be Daytona on a restricted plate track, it will have one of our engine in it built right in our shop.
Super. Let's go to Charlotte, North Carolina. Ed is watching on Sports South. Good evening, Ed.
Hey, how are you?
Good, thank you.
This question is for Geoff. Geoff, I understand you've built a new engine shop near your body shop since you got involved with the Alan Kowicki team and bought that. How do you see your projections in the future with this engine that you're building, especially at the 600?
Well, yeah, we did. We put on a used edition. That's used for me. 11,000 square foot of engine shop and office space. If your folks are in Charlotte during race week, stop over. We let people in our shop to look through and see our new edition. We're pretty proud of it. Our engine program is great. There's nothing wrong with it. Like I say, I just let it get off track a little bit. Our people are the best in the business, and Danny Glad and Gary, all those fellows there, they know what they're doing. You'll have a Geoff Bodine engine in the car at Charlotte and all the races the rest of the year. We're not going to have to buy or borrow any more engines the rest of the year.
And for those of you who might be new to the sport, we'll mention again that Geoff, of course, owns the team that used to be Alan Kowicki Racing. And if you're coming to Charlotte, find yourself in the area, Geoff has done something very nice. He has totally given up his office, which used to be Alan's office, and basically reconstructed it to the way Alan Kowicki last left it as a nice tribute to the former team owner there. So Alan Kowicki is always a part of that racing team in Charlotte, North Carolina. Let's go now to our phones and head to St. George, Utah. Robert, thank you for joining us in Utah tonight. Hello.
Yeah, my question is, how difficult is it for a person to break into a race team? I'm a fairly good mechanic, and I know you're a car owner. What do you look for when you're hiring somebody?
Well, first off, send us a resume so we can look over what you can do, what your skills are, and we are looking for good people all the time. Actually, my team is about 2 people short, so send us a resume. You might get a shot on a team. Right now, we're looking for a machinist and a general mechanic, someone that can work on the cars and help put them together. And it's kind of difficult. There's a group in the Charlotte area that have been around a long time, and they know a lot about these cars, and they have the jobs right now, but we know there's a lot of good people out in this country that can work on race cars and build them. So hey, send us a resume. Might give yourself a job.
Or just pick up and go to Charlotte for a week or so and just knock on the doors from shop to shop. You never know. If Geoff's looking for a couple of guys, you never know who else might be looking as well. We're going to come back and continue our visit with Geoff Bodine. But right now, as the track is set to open tomorrow at Sears Point, why don't we throw a couple of track facts at you and more of This Week in NASCAR right after this.
If you've ever struggled with a handheld trimmer, you'll love this revolutionary new kind of trimmer on wheels. Just look how easy it rolls on those 2 big wheels and glides in any direction on this front-mounted mobile. It's perfect for trimming around rocks, along fences, buildings, sidewalks, and in all those hard-to-reach corners. The new DR is also a mower. It cuts tall grass, waist-high weeds, even wet grass and rough areas with never-before ease. There's no steel blade to bend or dull. You'll just love what the DR trimmer mower can do for you and your property. Call toll-free 1-800-522-5333 for your big free package all about the revolutionary DR trimmer on wheels. Plus special savings now in effect. That's 1-800-522-5333 for free DR details.
Prime SCCA Trans Am is headed for the hill. The corners, the straightaways, the U-turns, the dirt. Dirt? SCCA Trans Am. From Phoenix International Speedway, Sunday on this regional sports network. Geoff Bodine surprised everyone in Daytona when he captured the 4th position for Sunday's Firecracker 400. Geoff, Chris Stewart-owned car number 50 set a new Firecracker 400 qualifying record with a speed of 194.721 miles an hour.
We had a confidence the car could do it. It just took me a while to get my confidence up to go around the track, but Bill Bryan did a super job setting it up, and the engine, down here, the engine horsepower is probably the biggest factor, and DNR built their engines and Winston-Salem, and they just did a super job.
Who's that young guy there?
I don't know. Kind of
brings back some good memories, though, looking back.
I wish it was me.
Yeah, that was you. Just a little bit of a different look. Michelle is with us here this evening, a local from Oakland, California, with a question. Hi, Michelle.
Thank you, Matt, for being here, and congratulations on your seventh place at Talladega.
Thank you.
And do you think the super trucks are going to be as competitive as NASCAR, and will they eventually run lawn trucks?
Big questions. You know, I don't think anyone knows where the Super Truck series is going to go. I think it's going to be here for a long while. The race fans, you folks, seem to enjoy it. Sponsors are striving to get out of these Super Trucks. A lot of space on there. We have Candy Tucker salsa all over it. By the way,
there's a surprise.
It will never, you know, never will replace Winston Cup, and that isn't the intent of it. I really think the intent is that it gives NASCAR another series to present around the country. Everybody wants to see NASCAR racing. So now you have Winston Cup, you have Busch Grand National, now you have Super Trucks. And more people can see and get participate in NASCAR.
And the bottom line is everywhere the trucks have been running, they've been sold out. So that right there is a testimony. Let's go up to Oregon now. Randy, thanks for hanging on the phone line.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Hey, how you doing, Jeff?
Doing great.
We shot that special on the bobsled you were designing and doing for the Olympics. Is this going to be? Are you going to be building them for us, or is this going to be just one of those little tricks you're playing with here?
Well, I'm never fail. Somebody asked you about the bobsled. Somebody in the audience already had tonight, and Randy, those bobsleds were already built 2 years ago. Still paying for them, by the way. They raced last winter, and they did really good. They were in the Olympics a couple years ago, and they will be in the next Olympics over in Japan. And it's been a struggle. It takes a lot of money for any Olympic sport, not just bobsledding. So if you like the Olympics, they need your help. Reach out, send them some money. The USOC and Colorado, they sure do need it, and the bobsledders do too.
Well, the USOC does not get support from our government as other governments support their Olympic athletes. That's just a fact of life in the amateur sports world. Now to Sports Channel Illinois. Gloria, good evening.
Yes, Jeff, I was wondering, is there anything romantic going on between you and Tanya?
I'm so embarrassed. Well, you know, Eli,
He obviously loves his salsa.
that's very romantic stuff. Sandy's out there watching, so yeah, I wish she'd call. Maybe she could answer that question.
Maybe that was her.
Maybe that was her. They sound a little bit like her. Yeah. We're very, very good friends, and she's a good supporter of auto racing. She loves auto racing. She wants to be a driver. Watch out. And well, other than that, no comment.
We ran into her at Las Vegas last November, actually, at one of the automotive trade shows, and she was meeting everybody and checking out all the exhibits, and she's not just a casual fan, it seems like. She knows this business. Let's go now to Steve on the phone line, joining us from Griffin, Georgia. Hi, Steve.
Eli, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
All right, my question is to NASCAR, and my question is, with all of the wonderful cities that are in the Southeast, why hold the awards banquet in New York City? It's sort of like holding the Oscars in Dallas.
Well, I think, you know, I've heard that sentiment certainly, but I think there's also another factor here, that New York is still the media center and the advertising center, and to some degree the business world total attraction. There are some CEOs, some chief executive officers, who for whatever reason might not attend the banquet if it was situated in a smaller market. But if you can take them to the Waldorf Astoria and have it in the Grand Ballroom, they are going to be there. It's where Madison Avenue is. There are a lot of advertising executives who are invited, all of the 1,000+ who are in attendance that evening, and not all drivers and mechanics. It's people who are, to you, maybe on the periphery of the sport, but are very much involved in the growth of NASCAR. So I think it's important that New York City is the hub of the sport for that weekend, although I certainly appreciate what your call is and where it's coming from. But from all I've heard, NASCAR is going to still head back to New York in December for the banquet. Quick reminder, next Thursday we'll be up in the beautiful granite state of New Hampshire as we head back east. We'll follow the NASCAR Busch Series to New Hampshire, and we'll be at the Holiday Inn in Concord next Thursday. Bobby Labonte and David Green, owner and driver of the Twin Jim Racing team. Of course, Bobby, a great Winston Cup driver in his own right now. That's next Thursday at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. And 2 weeks from tonight, we'll be at WTVI in Charlotte, North Carolina, prior to the Winston Select, a race that Geoff Bodine won last year. Maybe he can back it up again here in 1995. We're coming right back. More of This Week in NASCAR, but right now we'll give you a quick look at the broadcast schedule for Sunday's Save Mart 300, so don't leave us. We're coming right back.
You don't have to be 19 to have a body like this. You don't have to work out 8 hours a day. You don't have to be narcissistic or shallow. In fact, all you really need is $39 a month. The Solo Flex muscle machine. What are you waiting for?
You don't have to be a model to have a body like this. Or work out 8 hours a day. Or have an obsessive compulsive personality. Or never eat anything but rice and companion. All you really need is $39 a month. The Soul Flex muscle machine. What are you waiting for?
I'm Jack Nichols, and I've just joined Golf Magazine as special contributor. You can join Golf Magazine, too.
Call now for Golf Magazine, and you'll also get absolutely free Jack's video playing the percentages, an insider's guide to improving your game. Jack, it's great to have you on the Golf Magazine team. Where should we look for you in upcoming issues?
Where else? The golf course.
We've talked so much tonight about the guys, the crew, the fellows at the shop. Call them what you will. That is Paul Andrews there alongside Jeff. Paul is the crew chief for the XI Battery Storage Thunderbird. Just wanted to make sure we gave him a moment on the screen here because he is a very deserving gentleman. Does a lot to make that car run as well as it does. Our phone lines are open with Geoff Bodine, our special guest. Let's head to Burnsville, Minnesota for our next question. Good evening, Clay. How are you?
Good evening, Eli, Jeff.
Okay.
Jeff, I was at Michigan last year for the Good Ranch 400, and I saw you take the checkers. I just wanted to congratulate you.
Thanks.
My question, what would a cup car do in a quarter mile from a dead stop and for top speed, and would you have an elapsed time on that? Has anyone done that?
Play would be pretty slow. Really, our cars are heavy, number one, 400 pounds. For that weight, really, on a horsepower. You know, there's 740 horsepower, but for that amount of weight, it wouldn't be enough to set any records down a quarter mile. It would probably be, I'm just guessing, maybe 150.
Maybe. Again, remember, a drag race or an NHRA, if he loses a cylinder, he loses the equivalent of horsepower of an entire Winston Cup engine. And that's just one cylinder, so that gives you a pretty good comparison. Now to Houston, Texas. Hello, Roy. Good evening.
Yes, Jeff, how did you enjoy racing Ernie Irvin? And when something like that happens, how does it affect you as a driver?
Well, Ernie was a great competitor. You know, I remember when Ernie just started out, Swervin' Irvin, that's how he got his name. Yeah. People blame him for a lot of accidents, but you know, he matured and he started winning those races instead of crashing. And, you know, we miss him out there. He's still around to graduate, so we do get to see him. And we're hoping, you know, he recovers where he can get back behind a steering wheel. Well, I mean, we're hoping, but we know when he does, he's going to be competition again, so it's going to make it tougher for us. Ernie, I know one day he'll be back behind the steering wheel.
How do you guys blot out an accident, though? I know if I get into a fender bender on the street, I think about it and I'm ticked and it stays with me for a long time. How do you guys just block that out and climb right back into the car?
That day in Michigan, that weekend was pretty tough when Ernie got hurt. But, you know, the way I feel about it, if I get hurt, don't stop the show. Keep it going. And I won a race at Pocono when Bobby Alton got hurt. And, boy, that was a tough one. We all knew he was hurt bad. And we had to go on and run that long race at Pocono. And I'll tell you what, I'd give that race back if he hadn't got hurt that day. That's how we all feel. We don't want to see anyone get hurt. But we all know it can happen. And if it does, the show must go on.
We got a question earlier about Geoff Bodine's fan club, and thanks to Bill Doucette, who is the business manager for Jeff's company, we do have the address for you. You see it right there on the screen, P.O. Box 1790, Monroe, North Carolina, and the zip is 28111. Again, the Geoff Bodine fan club, Post Office Box 1790, Monroe, North Carolina, 28111. We're back after this. Stay with us. We're coming right back.
This Week in NASCAR has been brought to you by Napa. We keep America running. By Slim Jim. When you need a little excitement, snap into a peachy, spicy Slim Jim and watch for the Slim Jim racing team. By Nutmeg Racing. Nutmeg's new NASCAR collection of caps and t-shirts are for race fans who want to stand out from the crowd. And by Chevrolet. One car company has won more races in the history of NASCAR. Genuine Chevrolet.
When it's time for pit stop, there's nothing like a beefy, spicy Slim Jim. Thanks.
After 10 years in the NFL and 3 Super Bowl victories, I thought I could coach any team. But NASCAR took some getting used to. I mean, the huddles only last a few seconds. Every game plan is nothing but passing. And instead of star quarterbacks, you've got star drivers. In fact, the only thing the two sports seem to have in common is that all the fans and the stars love wearing nutmeg.
Nutmeg Mills, NASCAR apparel officially licensed to stand out from the crowd.
I'll say one thing about this team. These boys love to run laps.
Serving America's great sports network.
Thanks for watching This Week in NASCAR, brought to you by Beefy Spicy Slim Jim.
The cycle world is out of control. Take a spin on the fastest two wheels to hit the track, run and ride it with Cycle World. Thursdays on This Week in Sports Network.
Geoff Bodine, we could easily go another hour, but unfortunately the clock on the wall says we've got to move aside. The folks at Nutmeg Mills, our title sponsor, gave you a sweater last year. Now we've got one for Tanya or anybody else who'd like to give this to. We appreciate that. I'll trade you for a case of salsa. I'll tell you that. Geoff, thanks so much. Good luck this week. Thank you very much. Geoff Bodine, the driver owner of the Exide Batteries Ford Thunderbird. Again, we thank the folks from Exide who have been kind enough to give away batteries to those who called in this evening. And Tanya Tucker's salsa also going to the folks here in the audience and to those who called in on the show. Next Thursday night, we'll be in Concord, New Hampshire at the Holiday Inn with Bobby Labonte and David Green. We'd love to see you there in person. That's next Thursday evening, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Again, have a great weekend. We'll go racing Sunday afternoon at Sears Point Raceway. As we look over the East Bay and over towards the bridge, I'm Eli Gold. Good night, everybody.